Xbox still has unannounced games on the way. That's what Phil Spencer just hinted at. Again. But what exactly does that mean? Which secret titles are coming? And what else is Microsoft cooking up to try and turn the tide this generation? Today, we're breaking down every detail from Phil's recent comments, diving into the hottest rumors, speculating on these mysterious projects, and going deep into all the releases coming to Xbox consoles. Plus, we'll touch on Ubisoft's latest gamble, Bungie's return with Marathon, and the honest truth about the future of Game Pass. This is one of those episodes you'll want to stick with from beginning to end. Trust me, there's a lot to unpack. So grab your controller, get comfortable, and let's dive deep into the wild world of Xbox, games, strategy, and what the next few months could look like for one of the most talked about platforms on the planet. Let's start with the man at the center of it all, Phil Spencer, head of Xbox. A guy known not just for his sharp suits and stage charisma, but for being incredibly candid, sometimes to a fault. Over the years, Phil's built a reputation for speaking directly to gamers, skipping the PR fluff more often than not. In a recent conversation that was supposed to center around video game adaptations for film and TV, the discussion took a surprising turn back toward games themselves. When asked about Xbox's upcoming releases for the rest of the year, Phil casually said, "There's more coming. Some things haven't been announced yet. I'm mentally reviewing things to make sure I don't leak anything." Now, let's pause there. This might seem like a throwaway comment, just some off-the-cuff remark, but anyone who's followed Xbox for the past few years knows Phil doesn't speak without intention. When he says something like this, it's often calculated. A breadcrumb. A hint. Immediately, speculation exploded online. What could these unannounced games be? Who's working on them? Are we talking big-budget AAA titles or smaller experimental projects? And, perhaps more importantly, when will we get to see them? Phil also took the time to shout out several upcoming Xbox games that are already on our radar. Titles like South of Midnight, the stylish Southern Gothic action-adventure from Compulsion Games, World Wars II, continuing the RTS legacy. Doom, The Dark Ages, which already has fans buzzing. And of course, Indiana Jones and The Great Circle, which promises to blend cinematic flair with classic adventure mechanics. But the vibe of the interview made it clear. There's more beneath the surface. And if we know anything about Xbox's current strategy, they're all about the long game. Acquiring studios, growing Game Pass, planting seeds that will pay off years from now. But some of those seeds? They might be ready to bloom sooner than we think. As of now, Microsoft owns a staggering number of game studios, and we're not just talking about quantity, we're talking about quality. Veteran developers, legendary franchises, talent from all over the world working under one massive umbrella. Here are just a few names from the roster: Bethesda Game Studios, Arcane, Austin and Lyon, ID Software, Obsidian Entertainment, Ninja Theory, The Coalition, Playground Games, Double Fine, Tango Gameworks, Machine Games, Mojang, Insile. That's a deep bench. And many of these studios are confirmed to be working on multiple projects. In some cases, even triple pipelines. That's right, 3 games in active development at the same time. For example, Obsidian is finishing up Avowed, but there's long been talk of another RPG in pre-production. In Exile just wowed fans with Clockwork Revolution, but rumor has it they've got a second, smaller project brewing as well. And then there's The Coalition, best known for Gears of War. We know they're working with Unreal Engine 5. We know there's a new Gears game on the way, but what if they're also prototyping something entirely new behind closed doors? Let's not forget the mysterious projects hinted at in resumes, LinkedIn profiles, and subtle leaks over the past year. From job listings mentioning unannounced first-person shooters to audio engineers referencing open-world soundscapes, the clues are everywhere. What's even more exciting? Microsoft hasn't had a big blowout event yet this year, but June is coming. The Xbox Summer Showcase is right around the corner, and historically, this is where the megatons drop. One of the loudest rumors gaining traction recently is a full remake or remaster of The Elder Scrolls IV, Oblivion. According to insiders, this project has been in the works for a while, possibly by Virtuos or even one of Bethesda's satellite teams. Either way, it would mark a massive return to one of the most beloved RPGs of all time. With Skyrim having been ported to just about everything short of a toaster, it makes sense that Bethesda might want to revisit Oblivion, a game with deep systems, a vast open world, and endless modding potential. Imagine a version of Oblivion rebuilt in the Starfield engine, with modern lighting, revamped AI, improved combat, and maybe even some of the questlines reworked for a modern audience. If this drops into Game Pass Day 1, that's a massive win. Now to Ubisoft. According to leaks, they're working on a hero-based Battle Royale codenamed Project Scoot. Think Apex Legends-style gameplay, characters with abilities, high mobility, team-based tactics. It begs the question, why? Ubisoft already tried this once with Hyperscape, which was quietly shut down. Even more confusing, Ubisoft's own internal research asked, what comes after Battle Royale? Despite that, they're diving back in. And while they may see an opportunity in Apex's recent player decline, cloning an existing format rarely ends well. Unless Project Scoot brings something genuinely new to the table, it risks getting lost in the noise. Let's talk about Marathon, Bungie's return to one of their oldest IPs, but with a twist. This isn't a traditional FPS like Halo or Destiny. It's an extraction shooter. Enter, loot, survive, escape. Think Escape from Tarkov or Hunt, Showdown. Visually, the trailer looked clean and futuristic, but gameplay details remain scarce. Some fans are excited. Others feel let down, hoping for a narrative-driven shooter. What we do know, Marathon won't be free to play. It also won't be full price. Rumors say somewhere around $30 to $40. It will be live service. No surprise there. The big question is whether Bungie can stand out in a genre still finding its footing. The gunplay will likely be excellent. But will that be enough? Now, let's shift gears. Xbox Game Pass. Phil Spencer recently said, Game Pass isn't for everyone. And he's right. If you only play 1 or 2 titles a year, it makes more sense to just buy those games outright. But if you play a lot and like variety, Game Pass is unbeatable. Recent Day 1 titles include Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Persona 3 Reload, and even breakout hits like Palworld. Beyond blockbusters, it's a playground for indie discovery. Games like Inscription, Unpacking, or Chained Echoes may have never hit your radar without Game Pass. Still, developers remain divided. Some praise the exposure. Others worry about long-term monetization. The truth lies somewhere in between. For now, though, Game Pass remains one of the best deals in gaming. Speaking of good deals, Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PC, and industry legend Shuhei Yoshida already got to try it. His verdict? Fantastic. He said the game was smooth, stable, and already polished in early form. That's encouraging, especially after some rough PC launches from Sony, like The Last of Us Part 1. The port will likely include ultra-wide support, unlocked frame rates, and full mod support. For longtime fans, it's a great excuse to return. For newcomers, it's a must-play samurai epic. If this goes well, it opens the door wider for more PS exclusives to make the leap. Finally, let's close on something bigger than just games: AI. Crunchyroll, now owned by Sony, said they will not use AI in the creative process. No AI voice actors, no script writing bots, real people, real art. They will use AI behind the scenes, translation tools, workflow improvements, and catalog management, but not to replace creators. In a world racing toward automation, this is a powerful stance. Because art is more than content. It's experience, emotion, and intention. AI can mimic, but it can't feel. It's a nuanced issue. Some indie creators see AI as an empowering tool. Others fear it'll erode their industries. The truth? Context matters. And Crunchyroll is setting a thoughtful example. So, what have we learned? Xbox has momentum. Ubisoft is betting big. Bungie is taking a risk. Game Pass is still dominant. PlayStation is expanding, and the creative world is facing a tech revolution. Now I want to hear from you. What unannounced Xbox game do you want revealed? Are you hyped for Marathon or not feeling it? Is Game Pass still worth it for you? Where do you stand on AI in entertainment? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you liked this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Gaming is more than just fun. It's a culture, and here, we treat it with the respect it deserves. Thanks for watching. Take care, keep playing, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!